YouTube, how the devil are you doing? It's Cool King checking in again. I hope that you are fine and dandy. So, don't really know how to introduce this. We're going to talk about this. Without further ado, let's take a look. What is it? It is the Primus Micron Gas Lantern, of course. Why are we talking about this? Well, because I wanted to buy this. I've wanted this for a while, and I've got a camp coming up, and I wanted to have some sort of old-fashioned yellow light rather than using LEDs and stuff, which I have many of. Obviously, things like the Olight old bulb, just to name one. They're perfect little camping lights, but they're not this. This gives out heat as well. Oh no, I've given you a little bit of a sneak peek as to one of the reasons why I bought it. They do give out heat. It's inefficient or efficient depending on which way you look at it. Obviously the gas converts into the light, and byproduct is heat, and it's a waste, but it's fun. It's a warm light, quite literally. So let's have a look at it. Inside the box you get the actual Primus lantern, which has this lovely design on the top. On the back here we have a piezo igniter. We have the gas turning on and off your knobby, and then wound round it we have this ingenious nice little hanging loop with a bit more and a hook at the end, so you can hang it. That's 400mm, so you can keep this away from anything that's going to set on fire, like your tent. So it keeps it off the floor and it keeps it away from the ceiling as well, so it'll give out a bit of light around the tent, but also the heat as well. It's worth mentioning that in the box you also get a nice little pouch for it, which if you've ever had any sort of Primus gear, it's waterproof on the inside. This is quite a nice sort of dry bag type thing, which is good. Big hefty instruction book, which we don't need. We do need this. This is a Mantle. The drawback of this, if you look at it that way, is that it is a Mantle lantern, and another drawback is that you only get one in the box with it, so you will need to buy some of these. If you look after it enough, be careful with it, this should last you quite some time. They can get quite brittle, so if you knock this could end up being nothing, just dust. So I'm going to rip this little label off. He says I might just get the scissors. I'll get the scissors. It's just the safety tag. So if we have a quick look on the desk here, might just be able to make out that on the globe here there is just a small metal tab sticking up, and then on the base here we have a padlock symbol, one locked, one unlocked. So if we just turn that, we can pull the globe off, which then exposes the piezo igniter in the gas jet. You might not be able to see that, but it is working. Just for ease, making sure the gas is off, I'm going to stick it on the gas bottle so that we can stick the Mantle on. As I say, you only get one in the packet and you need to be very careful with it. As we look at the Mantle, on the bottom here we have a larger hole, and on the top here there's a smaller hole. The larger hole is the one that goes at the bottom. We can hold this green cord, you can see it's ballooned up a little bit, and we just slide that over, being careful and gentle. And then as we go down, we need to make sure that the piezo also goes inside the globe. Obviously being very careful with the piezo so we don't bend it or break it. And once it's on, we need to get our lighter, making sure the gas is off, and we need to set fire to the Mantle. See, the Mantle is going black because it's charring up, and if you see at the bottom, you might just be able to see it's turning back to the white colour, and that's what we want. We want it to burn out and end up being white again. So it's just a waiting game now for it to burn itself out. Which is nearly done. And now that it is done, what I tend to try and do is just put a little bit of gas through it, just for a second, turn it straight back off, just to, well, it's blown it out a little bit, and so it looks better. And then we can put the globe back on. Now the globe has this little tab here, which I've mentioned before. It also has these little grooves. It's the tab that we need to line up with the padlock at the front, not the grooves. Just be mindful of that, because you'll be there forever trying to get it in and it just won't go. So you can see the padlock just there. Turn it, locked into place, and there you have it. So we can light this now, and instantly we can see the type of light that it gives off. I'm turning this right down, so I think that's probably, it's actually still going there, believe it or not. That's probably the lowest it can go. You can't really tell what it looks like in here, but we'll come to that shortly. If I whack this up, so that is full capacity. I can feel the heat, my hands are here. It's kicking out some serious BTUs, but obviously we can hear the noise as well. Obviously, don't mess about with things like this inside, do it outside. If you were to pack this down now and put it in your lovely Primus bag, you'll probably set fire to your bag. Obviously, you need to make sure that this is cool before you do anything with it, before you touch it. I can still feel the heat coming off it now. It's been a few minutes. 1100 BTUs this gives out, which will warm your tent quite nicely, I would imagine. As I said, that's part of the reason why I bought this. It gives out 235 lumens, which I know some of you will press off right now. 235 lumens isn't a lot, but I did want it for a little bit of light and a little bit of heat as well. It's quite hard to find the accurate run times off one of these containers. This is the 100 gram gas containers. It's quite hard to find sort of concrete evidence as to what they actually do run. Now I found one guy who said he had a little bottle of this, didn't say whether it was full or not, but had it on full blast and it lasted him 90 minutes. I've read somewhere else that someone's done the exact same thing and has got 4 hours. On the box it says between 4 and 36 hours runtime. Obviously the 36 hours would depend on the size of the gas bottle, as would the 4 hours I guess, but also the intensity. I wouldn't be looking at having it on full blast all the time, whilst the light that it gives off is a nice warm yellow light, a bit oldie worldy, which is partly the reason why I wanted it. As I said, the noise reminds me of old Tilly lamps, slightly different but in the same sort of vein, and again that's something that I wanted to have with this. I don't want it on full blast to hear that, just a nice little hiss would be ideal. So Primus say that this weighs 118 grams, I say it weighs 121 grams. I guess it just depends on things. So it's 106 millimeters tall and it is 65 millimeters in diameter, and I can still feel the heat coming off it. Interestingly, they do a glass globed version which gives out 360 lumens, so it's pretty much better, but it's glass, so it's a trade-off. That's pretty much unbreakable. I wouldn't want to test that, but it's steel gauze, so it's going to have quite a good aspect of protecting itself. As I said, the mantles are the things that are going to go, so I'd probably buy some mantles before you go anywhere with it, and always have one spare in your bag. Dry, of course. That's it, quick and very dirty video of the Primus Micron Lantern. It's worth noting that Primus do a Micron series, so there is also a stove, so if you've watched all this video thinking that it was going to be a stove, I apologise, but I'm pretty certain it says it in the title, so it's on you. Anyway, if you have any questions, just put them down below. I'll just get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I'll link up here to some other videos that I think you might be interested in. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. That'd be awesome. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.